Are you absolutely fed up with the endless prompting and not getting the results that you want? I often speak to people and they're using what I call secondhand prompts from other people that have been created. While they're good, they don't necessarily always offer a lot of depth in terms of the output. And what can happen is people spend way too long trying to find the right words, find the right context, and then using the prompt. The difficulty is with that is that unless you're giving a lot of context in the background, the prompt is going to be pretty bland in a lot of cases because the context isn't there. Does that sound familiar? Well, actually, there is a really much smarter and a quicker way that will have you not using prompts anymore. And that is to create your own no code agents. So I call as Empower AI agents because they use a 14-step proven process that we go through to create them. And what we're doing is we're creating a framework in the background, specific instructions for the agent to work from, which means that it's set up with a lot of depth and context, which is really important. It's why you'll often hear people say, oh, the output is rubbish. Yeah, I don't find it any good. It is literally because people are prompting, they're getting really generic answers, and it's not serving them because it's not deep enough. The prompts are often shaped just to do one thing. Now, obviously, in the real world, we want much more depth than that. We want to be able to build on what it is that we've often created. Prompts are great, but they're not the only thing. So let's talk about why agents deliver much smarter results. And really, that comes down to what I said a minute ago, which was about the context, because they are set up with the background already created, focused on resolving a specific issue or having a conversation around a specific issue. So we have two types of agents. We have smart agents and we have founder agents. Founder agents about conversation. So in the background, we've set the founder agent up with a framework that it works from to give it the context. So the combination of how the agent is set up with the information that you're giving it in terms of the context and the role it is that it's going to fulfill for you, it gives it much more depth and breadth. You can do a lot more with it, which means that you're not constantly prompting. You're not constantly having to think about the right questions, the right words, the right structure. You're not having to think about prompt engineering. What you're doing with these smart AI agents and founder agents is you're having a conversation. So smart agents fulfill a specific role. So let me just give you an example. So, pretty much everyone I work with does social media copy. And what they were doing is they were using prompts to create their social media copy, but they were going backwards and forwards. Lots of information would be missing. There would be context that's missing. The output wasn't shaped in the way that they wanted it to be shaped in. It didn't represent their voice, their tone, their style. It was really bland. Now, while ChatGPT, if you give it a prompt, will give you what I would say is a theoretical framework, which is quite often overwhelming. It's very theoretical. It misses the nuance of you, your personality, how charismatic you are, the little quirks it is that you have. So it's a bit bland. It's a bit like vanilla. It's good, but it's bland. It doesn't really it doesn't hold weight. It doesn't have substance. It doesn't have flavor. It's good, but it's often too big and misses nuance. Now, so they would spend an awful lot of time prompting, going backwards and forwards, having a row with ChatGPT because they weren't happy, and then actually eventually giving up because they thought it was crap. Now, if you have an agent So let's just pick on social media for content for a second. So Lucy is what I call a smart agent. She's designed to fulfill a specific task. And that task is to write a newsletter. So in the back of Lucy, let's just go into the edit section. In the back of Lucy, she has been set up to fulfill a specific role. So this prompt in here isn't the whole story. There's actually, when creating Lucy, when creating any agents, there's a lot more copy than this. What it's done is it's just cut it down, but it was trained on additional data. So Lucy has been set up to create a newsletter in a specific way. So tone of voice, bullet points, sentiment, structure, length, call to action, insights, lots of different layers that you can add in. So I've just taken some copy from the blog article that I wrote, which was why is everyone obsessed with prompts when I'm obsessed with creating Empower agents? Okay, so it's going to take the article and then it's going to it's going to take that content, and actually you don't need that much. And then it's going to create a newsletter based on that copy. It's pretty much on point. It's got a call to action. It's got an insightful question at the end. What else has it got? So why agents, not prompts? And then it's got some headings with some copy. So basically, it's taken that copy, spun it, and turned it into a newsletter. What I don't like are these lines. It's infuriating why it does that. So how long did that take? A couple of seconds, if that. Now, let's think what we want to do next. So we've written a newsletter. Now what? Now what do I want to do? I want to write some social media. So what I've done is I've pulled in another agent who's going to do the social media for me, because in the background it's already been set up. So we're not constantly reprompting. What we're doing is we're using agents to follow a workflow that gives us very quick output in how we want the content to be produced. So, Bev, so I've just said, Bev, do me the social media content in line with your setup. I always like to ask in line with the agent's setup. So, okay, well, so it's reading the copy from above. So we've got this whole conversation in one chat. We're not going to one agent, then going to another. We're not, we haven't got a really heavy chat that's just full of, no, this isn't right, that's not right. Yeah, focus on this bit, don't do this bit. We've got one chat here that so I can copy and post the newsletter straight into my newsletter. It's super, super quick, is what I'm trying to say. Super quick. I've got my 7 days worth of social media content. So it will do it for the different platforms. So day 2. So let's just go back a second. What did we have here? We've got, okay, day 1, LinkedIn. It's rotating them by the looks of it. Day 1, LinkedIn. Day 2, Instagram. Day 3, Twitter. Day 4, Facebook. So now this is set. Depending on what you want to do, is you can just say, do 7 days worth of Facebook posts, do 7 days worth of LinkedIn posts. But the background has been set up with Bev in mind to create that social media content. So we've got a heading, got some text, got some bullet points. What you can do, or what I should have done, is I should have actually given it the link to the website and said, add this LinkedIn, add this LinkedIn, add this link to the copy. Okay, so what have we done? newsletter, social media. What do I want to do now? Okay, let's. And what I like about this is every time it does it, it's getting more insight and more knowledge. It's thinking slightly differently. So what do I want to do now? Good question. So let's write an article. Okay. So this is going to create a 500 word article based on the copy above, using a particular structure it is that I've created that I want the article to be written in. It's following SEO best practice. So it's been set up in the background to fulfill SEO best practice, to write a blog post in a particular style that I like. So this is a style that I like. I like bullet points. I like paragraphs. So that is a quick 500 word article that I can now use. And also what I can do is I have another agent that will do the SEO for the background of the website. So it will do the heading, the meta description, the tags. So I can just use that agent, pop it in here and say, create the essentials for me. It will give them to me straight away in line with the article, and then I can just upload that, or however, if I give it to my VA, she can just upload it and put everything in. So this is super, super quick. I wanted to use the social media um, example just to show you how quick it is, just to show you that you don't need to be endlessly prompting. You don't need to be going into this full conversation with AI. You can set up your agents to fulfill a specific role, a specific task, and then just copy and paste the copy it is that you want in there for it to carry it out. And these agents are limitless. Mine are obviously geared to coaching, consultation, and therapists in terms of marketing and sales and strategic business growth. But you can create them regardless of niche. So you would be thinking, one of the things I do with my clients is we identify who the agents are. We then create them and we then implement them. But it's thinking about how they fit together because one agent is best to fulfill, these agents anyway, are best to fulfill a specific task. If you give them too much information, they don't work so well. So one specific task. So this is a really great example. So this is one that I created for a client. And basically in the background, it has a whole load of documentation that it pulls from. But she is what is she? She works within schools around creating the health policies, safeguarding, keeping kids safe. So she writes a lot of policy documents. This is created, and her name's Adele, funny enough. This is created to help her to write the policies much quicker because everything set up in the background. Let's have a look. So there's probably about 10 documents in here. Yeah, you can see look, loads of documents that when she's writing her policies, it will evidence and create the policy based on what the knowledge and insight that's in the background. Of course, you have to be the expert. You have to know what you're doing and you have to be able to write policies. But Adele will guide you through the process and then pull from the strategy requirements it is within the documents. So policy creation and revision, best practice, compliance, workplace well-being, how can I help, drafting child safeguarding statement. So it's pretty in-depth, pretty in-depth. So that's a niched agent and that can only be used by a healthcare professional who's writing policy documents for schools between a specific age. So again, this one is super niched. There wouldn't be much point in anybody else using this agent. It wouldn't be helpful for them. But this is how we move away from prompting. This is how I think we make the relationship between ourselves and the I much more human centric. It's much more about a conversation. It's not about prompting. It's about it's about oh, I've missed this bit. I need to focus in on this. What do you think about that? Would this be better? What else would you recommend? On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is this? Yeah, what have I missed? What are my blind spots? Is this good? Okay, I've forgotten what I'm doing. What did we do earlier? So it's a human conversation with the AI to get the best result, to get the best output. So it's about creating agents that are task specific, thinking of a role. If someone was writing, let's just think of one that I haven't done. Let's take, for example, someone who's experienced at writing CVs. Rather than using a prompt to do that, you would actually create a job description, and then the nuance that goes within that, the job description, how you want the CV to be shaped, what needs to be in it, what needs to be focused in on. And then what you would do is you create that as an agent. So that would be like it's not a prompt. It would be the specific role that agent carries out. You go in and then you have a conversation and then you create. Very, very different to prompting. I know people are absolutely obsessed with prompting, and they get, when I look at social media and I look at the difference between AI agents attention and the prompting attention with the articles, it's always about prompting. But actually, we should be moving away from that now. We should be more focused in on actually creating agents that we can use because they are of a far superior quality. Absolutely. And when you're using in the context of a business, they are much, much smarter. And not only that, they get smarter as the ChatGPT, as AI upgrades, the agent gets smarter. As you're using the agents, you'll see if something's missing, you can then add to it and make it better. So they're just getting better and better. If you're consistently prompting, it's just not the same depth. It's not the same level. Let me just have a quick read, see if I've missed anything. I think the thing is this just makes it super, super much, much smarter, much quicker. The quality of output that you're going to get is going to be much better, far superior, far, far superior. So, have you created any AI agents? Have you thought about AI agents, I should say? Have you thought about actually moving away from prompting and creating agents? That would be really good to know. Are you finding that prompting is time consuming? It doesn't give you the information it is that you need. It doesn't give you the solutions, the tone of voice, the depth it is that you need. You find yourself having an argument with ChatGPT and you're just spinning lots of wheels and going around in circles. Let me know below. I'd be really interested to learn more about how you're using AI agents and prompting. And if you would like a demonstration of how to use the Empower AI agents, whether that is task agents or founder agents, just book in for a demonstration and we can go through and set it in context to your business. So I predominantly deal with coaches, consultants, and therapists, but if you're a service-based business, we can absolutely show you how that will work for your business as well. So I hope you found that interesting. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I am releasing videos now once a week. The plan is to upgrade and do 2 a week, so on a Tuesday and Thursday, but at the moment it will just be 4 Tuesdays because we're super, super busy. But yeah, let me